All throughout high school, I had done a lot of sound tech for like the theater productions, auditorium events, and being able to be on the technical side, like the low level, understanding how signals move, how systems work. You can pretty much apply them anywhere.
Hi, welcome to Find Your Flock. Today's guest is a current student, Tejal, a student that came to on my radar when we were investigating different type of minor options and cleaning up our academic catalog. We're so excited that she is gracing us with her presence. Welcome to Find Your Flock.
Hi, thank you for having me. Happy to
Um,
be here.
do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Your major, your year, how you found Stevens?
Yeah, sure. My name is Tejal. I am a 4 out of 4 electrical engineering student. I have a minor in music and tech, and my hometown is Stamford, Connecticut. Um, I honestly came to Stevens because I came to visit the campus and it was so beautiful. Out of every other school, I had applied to only music schools actually, and Stevens was the one tech school. And I came in for music and technology, but soon found out that the engineering side and the more uh, technical side of sound and audio is what I really loved, and I switched over to electrical.
That's amazing. Music, audio technology, having that creative passion. How did those dual interests develop alongside, like, what was the moment that you knew you wanted to switch into engineering?
So all throughout high school, I had done a lot of sound tech for like the theater productions, auditorium events, and it sparked something in me. I've been around music my entire life, and being able to be on the technical side um, showed me how much we can like change and alter and just move from the operating side. And when I came to Stevens for music tech, um, I realized that I wanted more than just the production. I wanted to get into like the low level, understanding how the signals move, understand like how this sound is being created and put out because sound is all around us all the time. Um, Even now when we're recording this, um, using microphones, just recording up into the cloud, like all that takes these back end sides that you don't really think about, but it always really interested me in how you can get people to enjoy this at the best that they can.
That's awesome. Do you want to tell us a little bit about, you told us a little bit about some of the audio engineering, but I know you've had some internships and some freelance work. If you want to tell us how it kind of blends into those kind of opportunities and internships and careers, that would be really interesting, I think, for some of our listeners.
Oh yeah, sure. So for freelance work, it has been something been doing since high school. Uh, my high school actually hired me for the 4 years I was there to work those auditorium events. And then once I got to college, I was really invested with the audio engineering club, and I got a couple opportunities from there, getting to work with performers, making sure I can get their sounding good to the audience, you know. That's the job of those audio engineers. And then when it came to internships, I really wanted to branch out and see what more I could do with that. And I had a really incredible opportunity with SH Acoustics. They're based in my home county, Fairfield, Connecticut, and they do a lot of incredible projects where they can work with their clients about where they put certain speakers, what materials to use on the walls and on the floors, like rugs even, like how much sound is being absorbed. And I just learned a lot about how spaces really change how we perceive sound. And it's just so cool how much it is really just everywhere. Um, yeah.
Who are some other clients that they're working with? I'm curious now.
Oh
You
yeah.
got me
So,
peaked. Uh,
one of the coolest ones I've I was able to have a little part of. They worked with Monterey Bay Aquarium, um, and so they were able to just like as people go through the aquarium and they want to listen to like the interactive aspects of like exhibits, um, we directly incorporated how they're gonna like add sound to like the touch screens and yeah.
That's so
So
cool. I love those like these newer types of immersive experiences. I mean, I have a 9-year-old and I feel like I really appreciate when we go to a museum or an aquarium and like a kid is entertained and there's like, feedback, sound feedback, hypnic feedback, like any kind of, that
yeah,
interactive kind of quality. I think it makes the experience like so top notch. So that's so awesome. I
yeah,
knew there was a bunch of cool engineers that were, spending time thinking about this, but it is nice to kind of like see the finished product. That's really fun. So we talked about Audio Club. There's also, is there a radio station on campus? Am I?
yeah.
Yeah,
WCPR, the radio station. Yeah, they're really cool. They do a lot of events on campus. Usually, if there's some event going on and you're hearing music, it's from them. Yeah, it's really nice.
fun. Is there a lot of the same people in the minor and in the club and in the radio station, or do these clubs also collect other kind of, individuals on campus that just have a love for music?
I think it's a really good mix of both. When I first joined, it was definitely a community that the music and techs had together. I'm sorry. Um, but it's definitely a place for them to go to have their own space outside of just classes, but everyone is welcome, and it is so cool getting to see other majors and people who aren't so invested in it, getting to learn about it and just learn something new, find a new passion. It's a huge collaborative space, and everyone's constantly working together to help each other and just develop their skills.
That's
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me about maybe your favorite class in electrical engineering and your favorite class in your music and technology minor? I'd love to hear the juxtaposition of those two.
Hmm. Um, my favorite class. Oh, that's gonna be a hard one. If it might seem odd, but I think going through the engineering curriculum, I have two favorites. One was I'm forgetting which design class this was. It was probably like four, but we created an amplifier and that okay, perfect. And yeah, that was really cool getting to get to that nitty-gritty of doing the math and being able to develop an actual system that works and is able to put out sound and also incorporate software. I'm pretty sure we use MATLAB to simulate. And yeah, it was cool. We got to learn the differences between different filters and how they work on we used actual boards where we hooked everything up. It was very cool. And I actually took that over summer because I have been catching up to graduate with this major after switching from music tech. And so being able to have that space of something I love so much, and that was the only class I was taking, I could put all my effort into that, and it was very fruitful. And the other class isn't quite an electrical engineering class, but I actually love thermodynamics. I know we were talking a little bit about that before. Um, but that one was definitely a class that showed that hard work will get you success. I started out really struggling in the class. I didn't really understand the concepts. But throughout the semester, I would put more and more time studying, and every time I would see the results with my exam scores, and it was just really cool to like see that arc and reflect back afterwards and how much I was struggling in the beginning to, wow, I really put a lot of work into this and now it's almost like second nature and I understand the processes and I was able to get through it.
I always find it interesting when students like really don't like easy classes that were easy A's. A lot of students tell me some of their favorite classes are the ones that initially were so hard and they had to work and then they got it and that moment, that euphoric feeling,
Click.
yeah,
It
when it clicks and when you feel like you belong and when you feel like I got this are their favorite classes. And I always think they call it like the Goldilocks principle. You want something to be hard enough to keep you engaged, but not too easy where you get bored. So it's like, you know what I mean? Some of the it's a hard pacing, to kind of get it
mhm.
Goldilocks at all times, but I love when students tell me it was so hard, but I loved it so much. And that's such a fun thing. So on the music and tech side, what kind of courses is that for the minor? I'm not super familiar with the minor. I just know that EEs take it a lot.
Yeah, so I was pretty lucky when it came to doing the minor portion after I switched. Um, I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if it's changed from when I last looked, but it was 6 courses of any of the Haas School or the HMU music tech classes, and then I believe it was an upper level humanities. And throughout my first year here, I was able to get a lot of courses in for that minor. So when I switched, I was able to keep a lot of those classes and just get those extra one or two that I needed and put those in for my electives and other humanities for my major. So worked out
Yeah,
pretty well.
I know sometimes when students switch majors, it becomes like a very stressful event, and yet minors are a great way to piece together courses of majors past or majors of long ago. There are electives in your curriculum. It does allow for some flexibility. We do offer a lot of our core courses in summer for anybody who does need to, catch up and get in a course with lots of lab time in the summer. So, but that's great. I mean, and in 4 years, and you have a minor, it seems like, you know, it all worked out, even though I'm sure it was stressful at the time. Um, we've been seeing tons of articles about New Jersey and like how like Netflix is coming to New Jersey and all of the cool movies. I know they filmed an Adam Sandler movie recently, and like, it's been the talk of New Jersey. I mean, with this industry kind of growing, like, do you think they're going to need a ton of engineers in this space, or, how does it look for, as you're looking for your new job? You're graduating in May, right?
Yes.
So like, how's the job search looking? What is it? What are you thinking?
Yeah, so honestly, when I started job searching, I was really scared and I had limited myself a lot in terms of what I thought I could do, in terms of what I thought were available to me. But it wasn't until recently that I realized just how big of a need engineering is, and it is in all sorts of backgrounds and practices, and especially with film and TV industries, engineers are definitely needed. There's all this background tech work that goes into it that people don't see from the screen, but moving parts, like building things specifically for a certain set, all of this. We need engineers to design these things, to build them, and to just get them across to the proper teams. Yeah, so I'm still looking. I've had a couple of cool opportunities here and there, but we'll see where it takes me. I'm not uh, focused on one specific area. I definitely want to stay in audio. I really hope that I can stay in audio, sound, some sort of something that I can connect that and work on that and help people gain those immersive experiences. Um, yeah.
That sounds awesome. I mean, if you want to manifest your dream job, we can put it out into the atmosphere here and into the cloud. If you want to call out what your dream job would be, because I'd love to be able to follow up with you in 6 months when you are working at said dream job. But what would be like if we could maybe wave a magic wand? What would be your dream job?
If I could do my dream job, I would love to just sit, work, and develop on like all sorts of audio gear, headphones, microphones, like big mixing consoles, getting into them, developing them, coding, how all the knobs, switches, getting them to, and working with all the signals, putting them out. That would be a dream job of mine for sure.
Well,
So
let's make it happen. We'll have your LinkedIn all posted on here. Somebody will contact you with the dream job. It'll be great. Um,
thank you. Looking
so
forward to it.
right? But yeah, if you never put your dreams out in the world, right? How will they know to find you? So what advice would you give to students who love both engineering and the arts? What advice would you give them after, your kind of little journey here?
Yeah, some advice I'd give is remember why you're doing it. Remember the love you have for these passions, and know that with engineering, with sciences and technology, you are only developing and helping create a wider future for the things that you love. And if you love your passion, I would say keep working on it, keep developing it, and it might sound cheesy, but don't ask what your passion can do for you, but what you can do for your passion.
I love that. That's amazing. And lastly, why should someone choose electrical engineering at Stevens?
I think electrical engineering is definitely not very easy, but it gives you an incredible, it's just an incredible reach of all these fundamentals of so many different disciplines, and you get those like low-level understandings of how signals move, how systems work, and you can pretty much apply them anywhere. So I'd say that it's just great, and it has a very broad environment that you can go into with that.
Yeah, I personally love the curriculum of electrical engineering because it's so flexible too. The course sequences and things, like it does provide a major switch without much there's not like a 5 course sequence to get to something else. So I do love that. Once you have the
Mhm.
basics, you can kind of explore. So that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank you so much for joining us. And I know you're in the middle of senior year, so it's always so hectic, but we do love when our about to graduate students can come on and spend some time with us. Thanks for joining, and don't forget to check out our other episodes. Click subscribe and share. Have a good one. You've been listening to Find Your Flock, Season 2. I'm Dr. Sandra Clavijo. Thanks for joining us as we help future ducks find their path at Stevens. Don't forget to follow and subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, and share this episode with a future duck.